Travis Kelce, thank you for putting Taylor Swift on the map. We appreciate it. Never heard of Taylor before. Definitely heard of Travis Kelce. I've seen all the videos with Travis lately on TikTok and Instagram. On this channel, actually what I do is I look at all different types of people's communication skills. So I thought it would be cool to check out Travis. I'm not personally a huge football guy, being Canadian and all, but I've heard of him before. Yeah, so we're going to look at an interview with him today and break down his communication skills. He seems to be a very popular, likable guy, and maybe there's something we can learn from him as a communicator. Let's get right into this. I look forward to it.
Good, man. You're a
all right,
star.
all right.
Come on, Travis Kelce in the house.
What we doing, guys?
Couldn't have happened to a better dude, man.
This is a dream come true, Jimmy. This is sweet.
Come
man.
on, but
Are you kidding me?
When we met each other probably almost a year ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right away, you can tell he's just smooth. He holds his gestures and his movements for longer than the normal person. I generally find people who seem really comfortable in like a social environment, they move at a slower pace. They hold things for a little longer. They're not quick or jittery. When we're moving fast, they're a little bit more rigid. We're not comfortable with being seen. So when you look at a guy like Travis, he kind of holds eye contact with Jimmy. He comes down, he sits slowly. There's just a coolness about that. There's just a comfort about that. So I think a lot of people equate smoothness and coolness to essentially being comfortable in your own skin, which presents to the world as someone who's okay with being seen.
I mean, it's been awesome since he's been in Kansas City. He doesn't get enough credit for the type of leader that he is, the type of just personable guy he is in the locker room, and it's on and off the field. He does unbelievable things in the community in Kansas City, and that's the kind of vibe that I like to be around, man.
Yeah, I think part of his appeal too, first of all, showing some humility there and giving Patrick his props, and kind of talking highly about him. I always find that's a likable quality when we're listening to other people, when they're able to put other people on a pedestal, kind of take the attention away from themselves. So you get a confident vibe from him, but I don't get an arrogant vibe from him. There's also a conversational element to the way he communicates. Like I said before, he's very calm and kind of comfortable in his demeanor. You see him gesture a little to kind of accentuate his point, but it's very comfortable in the sense that it feels like he's speaking in a conversational way. It doesn't seem like he's putting it on. So I think just in general, people really gravitate toward that. We're more likely to listen to a tone and to language that is familiar to us. So when people try to dress up their language or try to speak in a more polished, performative way, that often, has the opposite effect. And that's kind of how Travis feels. It kind of feels like he's speaking to his buddy right here.
You always dream growing up that you're going to one day be in the Super Bowl, especially when my brother's the reason why I even played football. Like, yeah, exactly. When I was growing up, I'm 2 years younger than my brother, and that's about as drunk as I was at the parade right now. That's me on that.
Yeah, he just seems like a really positive guy, too. You don't really see him kind of have a serious look on his face at any point. Seems to keep things lighthearted. Obviously, this is a late-night talk show, so it's a little lighter, but that's what it seems like. He seems like a pretty easygoing, kind of just good-tempered person. So I can see the likability there, and there's definitely a humility to the guy, right? Just the fact that he's talking about his brother so easily and willingly, saying his brother's the reason he got into football.
My brother's the reason why I even play football.
I think as an audience, we enjoy hearing high-profile celebrities and successful athletes speak highly about others. There's something very endearing and humble about it that I think is appealing, that I think is deeply appealing. So there's a comfort in that. There's a confidence in that I think people are drawn to.
We lost a big name wide receiver.
Yeah.
One of my favorite teammates ever, Tyreek Hill, and they thought that it was just it was over for us. And that's why being on that mountaintop, man, it just felt that much sweeter, man.
Right? Notice he's just got a smile on his face. He's not moving around too much. He's just kind of keeping his cool throughout the whole interview here.
And they thought that it was just it was over for us.
I think he makes more of a conscious effort than people may realize to keep things positive, to keep things lighthearted. It seems like he's got a good sense of humor. He's able to take shots at himself too.
That's about as drunk as I was at the parade right now.
So again, I think that's probably a big part of Travis's appeal, right? He's light, doesn't take himself too seriously, kind of an easy guy to watch and be around. You know what I mean?
It'll probably go down as one of my favorite speeches. He at halftime he got electric, man. He lit a fire in everybody's tail just to want it that much more. And when you can do that with a group of men, man, that's a special human being right there.
Man, he's eager to talk about his teammate Mahomes, right? He's eager to talk about him. So that's cool. Again, humility. But again, it's in his body language, right? His body language is in control. He's not all over the place. His movements aren't overdone. He's not like looking here and like being really performative and super animated. He's just kind of being himself. He's looking at the audience very comfortably. He's looking back at Jimmy. Again, he's okay with being seen, but he's doing it slowly.
Growing up, I was a huge Farley, Fallon kind of guy growing up, and yeah, I used to watch Saturday Night Live with my mother. It's an absolute honor and a privilege to be hosting SNL March 4th.
Dope. I didn't even know he did that. That's sick. So for all the girls joking about Taylor Swift putting Travis Kelce on the map, the dude was on SNL. That's another thing we can add to his resume. And what he did earlier, man, see, that's part of that charm.
Huge Farley, Fallon.
That's the charm that I'm talking about. He paused and looked at Fallon to see his response when he said Fallon.
Fallon.
What's happening here is he's demonstrating to Jimmy Fallon that he appreciates him, that he sees him, that he wants him to smile.
Fallon kind of guy.
It's not necessarily that he wants Jimmy Fallon to believe that he looked up to him growing up. It's more that he wants Jimmy Fallon to see that he acknowledged him in that moment. But Travis made it a point to look at him and smile. That's where the charm comes from. He wants Jimmy to feel acknowledged, right? So I think a lot of people who we find charming are people who make us feel important. And you can tell Kelce has that.
I was talking to Lauren today. I'm like, oh, he's so charming, and he can sing, and he's fun, and it's so good. I know that you do some karaoke. And
How did you know? You gotta fight for your right to party.
Yeah, man, he's an entertainer. What can I say? The dude's an entertainer. And again, doesn't take himself too seriously. He's clearly okay being a goofball. Just easy going, easy to be around. Travis, thanks again for putting Taylor Swift on the map for us. We appreciate it. If you want to watch my uncut reaction and analysis, all you need to do is go to my Patreon page. I've included the link in my description below. Guys, if you're interested in seeing my other reactions uncut on my Patreon page, I've got a ton that you may enjoy, including Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, Jack Harlow, and many, many more. So you can check out my Patreon page for that. Other than that, appreciate you being here. I'll catch you soon. Peace!